Most parents think the hardest part of bedtime is getting their child to sleep. But the real damage happens in the 10 minutes before that, and almost no one talks about it. Tonight, millions of children will go to bed afraid. Not because of monsters under the bed, not because of a scary movie they watched, but because of something their parent did with complete love and the best intentions. And here's what makes this so painful. The very routines parents use to comfort their children at night are quietly teaching those children that sleeping alone is dangerous, that the dark is something to fear, that being without their parent means being unsafe. This isn't about bad parenting. This is about patterns that feel right in the moment, but slowly wire a child's nervous system for fear. I'm going to show you exactly what those patterns are. And more importantly, I'm going to show you what to do instead. Because once you understand what's actually happening inside your child's brain at night, you will never approach bedtime the same way again. Children are not born afraid of the dark. They're not born needing a parent in the room to fall asleep. These fears are learned. And in most cases, they're learned from us, not through neglect, not through trauma, but through small, repeated nightly patterns that feel like comfort, but function like fear training. Let's go through them one by one. 1. You stay until they fall asleep. Every night. You lie down next to your child. You rub their back. You whisper softly. You wait and you wait. Until finally, their breathing slows, their body relaxes, and they're asleep. You feel like you did something good. You were there, you were patient, you were loving. But here's what actually happened inside your child's nervous system. Their brain registered one very clear message. Sleep is only safe when my parent is here. So what happens at 2 a.m.? When they naturally wake between sleep cycles, as all humans do, they reach for what their nervous system was trained to need. You. And when you're not there, their body doesn't just feel alone, it feels unsafe. This is called a sleep association, and it's one of the most powerful fear patterns a child can develop. The fix isn't to abandon them. The fix is to gradually shift what their nervous system associates with safety. Start by sitting next to the bed instead of lying in it. Then move to the doorway. Then just outside the room, with the door open. Each step teaches their nervous system, I can feel safe, even without my parents' physical presence. Safety lives inside me, not only in my parents' body beside me. This is how you build a child who sleeps peacefully, not because you're there, but because they've learned that sleep itself is safe.
2. You rescue them too quickly at night.
It's 1 a.m., you hear a cry, and before that cry can fully form, you're already moving down the hall into their room, hand on their back. You think, this is what good parents do. And you're right. Responsive parenting matters deeply, but there's a difference between responding and rescuing. When you arrive before your child has even 30 seconds to self-settle, their brain learns something very specific. Nighttime distress is a crisis. I cannot handle waking alone. My only option is to signal until rescue arrives, and without realizing it, you've confirmed that nighttime is dangerous enough to require emergency response. So the wakings increase, not because something is wrong, but because their nervous system learned to expect your intervention. What does healthy response look like? Wait, just briefly, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Give their nervous system a chance to discover. I woke up. It's dark, and I'm okay. And when you do go in, go calmly, not urgently, because your body language is information. If you arrive breathless and worried, their nervous system reads, "This really was a crisis." But if you arrive calm and slow, their nervous system learns, "This was manageable. I was okay." The goal isn't to ignore your child. The goal is to stop confirming that nighttime is something to fear. 3. You use fear to get compliance. If you don't stay in bed, something might come in the dark. The monsters only come when kids get out of bed. I'll have to lock the door if you keep getting up. These feel harmless in the moment. A tired parent's last resort at 9 p.m., when bedtime has officially become a negotiation. But listen to what your child's brain actually hears. The dark contains threats. My parent knows about those threats. Being alone at night is dangerous. You meant it as a shortcut. Their nervous system stored it as fact. And facts don't disappear when the lights go out. They expand.
Fear-based compliance works tonight, but it builds a child who fears sleep itself, who lies awake listening for what might be coming, whose nervous system never fully relaxes into rest because rest requires feeling safe, and safe is the one thing they've been taught they aren't at night.
Instead, try honesty wrapped in warmth. I know the dark feels big sometimes. That feeling makes sense. But here's what's true. You are safe. This house is safe. And I'm just down the hall. Give them language for their nervous system, not reasons to fear it. 4. You make bedtime emotionally heavy. The end of the day carries emotional weight for children. Even sleep separation activates their attachment system. And many parents, without realizing it, make that weight even heavier. I'm going to miss you so much. I hate saying goodnight. Stay up just a little longer. You mean this is love. Your child hears it as loss. If saying goodnight makes you sad, then sleep must mean something painful is happening. Their nervous system catalogs this. Sleep equals loss. Nighttime equals sadness. Separation equals pain. The emotional tone you bring to bedtime becomes the emotional tone your child carries into sleep. So what does healthy bedtime energy sound like? Calm, warm, certain. It's time to rest. Your body is ready. Tomorrow is coming. And I'll be here. Not emotionally heavy, not desperate with love, just steady, safe, certain, own. Bedtime should feel like a gentle landing, not a painful goodbye. 5. You skip the transition ritual. The brain does not switch from daytime to sleep like turning off a light. It needs a bridge, a predictable sequence that tells the nervous system, what's coming next is rest.
Bath, book, bed.
Most parents understand this in theory, but the execution matters more than the routine itself. Okay, we're late. Skip the book. Just get in bed. Now the nervous system arrives at sleep, unprepared, still activated, still alert, still waiting. And an alert nervous system doesn't sleep peacefully. It stays vigilant, watching, listening, ready. This is why so many children seem fine until the exact moment you leave the room. The transition ritual isn't about the activities, it's about teaching the brain. After this sequence, it is safe to let my guard down. Protect the routine, even on difficult nights, even when you're exhausted, especially then, because predictability is what helps a child's nervous system feel safe. 6. You communicate your own anxiety about sleep. Parents of children who struggle with sleep, they often develop anxiety about sleep themselves, and that anxiety becomes visible. You check on them too many times. You hold your breath while backing out of the room. You whisper, "Do you think they'll sleep tonight?" Your child notices all of it, because children are extraordinarily sensitive to parental anxiety. Their brain thinks, if my parent is worried, I should be worried too. So before helping your child regulate, you have to regulate yourself. Take a breath before entering the room. Relax your face, slow your movements. Approach bedtime as though you fully expect it to go well, because your nervous system is teaching theirs. If yours is calm, theirs has permission to relax. If yours expects difficulty, their nervous system will search for danger. 7. You never let them practice being alone. During the day, fear of nighttime aloneness doesn't only begin at night, it is built and healed during the day. Children who never experience comfortable solitude during daylight hours arrive at bedtime without the internal tools to manage being alone. They've never sat quietly with themselves. They've never learned, alone does not mean unsafe. So when darkness comes and you leave the room, their nervous system encounters something completely unfamiliar. The solution begins during the day. Small, positive experiences of safe independence. Playing alone for 10 minutes while you're nearby. Quiet time in their room with the door open. Moments that teach the brain, I can be alone, and I am still okay. These daytime experiences build the emotional architecture that makes nighttime feel survivable. Here's what almost nobody tells parents about childhood sleep fears. They rarely begin with darkness. They rarely begin with nightmares. They begin with a nervous system that never fully learned, through gentle repeated experience, that sleep is safe, that alone is okay, that night will end, morning will come, everything will be all right. Your child does not need a perfect bedtime. They need a predictable one. They do not need you beside them every second they sleep. They need to trust that you'll still be there when they wake. That certainty, that your love exists even when you're not physically present, is the foundation of a child who sleeps peacefully, grows confidently, and trusts deeply. And it starts tonight with one small change, in those final 10 minutes before they close their eyes. If this helped you see bedtime differently, share it with a parent who needs to hear it. Because sometimes the most loving thing we can do is learn to do things differently.